Hey there, amazing 6th grade learners. Welcome to today's Explainer. I am honestly so excited to be here with you. Today, we're going to explore something incredibly important, you. Specifically, we're talking about your health, how your body and mind are totally transforming during adolescence, and how you can achieve this awesome thing called holistic wellness. If you've ever felt, like your body is growing way too fast, or your moods are kind of all over the place, or your friendships are suddenly changing, guess what? That is completely normal. Okay, let's dive into this and figure out exactly how we can stay healthy and happy through all these changes.
So here's our roadmap for today's learning journey. 1. Let's review our health. 2. Understanding holistic wellness. 3. Practicing wellness together. 4. Your turn to practice. 5. Reflection. And finally, 6. Your next wellness steps.
Section 1. Let's review our health, recalling the basics. All right, let's warm up those brains. Before we can really grasp holistic wellness, we've got to remember the foundational pieces of our health. We've recently learned that health isn't just about, not being sick, it's about our whole being. During adolescence, which is this really amazing stage right between childhood and adulthood, we experience rapid growth in a bunch of different areas all at once. So here's my first challenge for you today. What are the 5 dimensions of health we experience changes in during adolescence? I want you to think back to our previous sessions, whisper them to yourself, or if you're watching with a friend, see who can name all 5 first. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Do you have them? Okay, let's find out.
Boom, here they are. Physical, mental or intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual health. Really great job if you remembered them. Physical is all about our body's growth. Mental, well, that's about how we learn and solve problems. Emotional involves our moods and feelings. Social is all about our friendships and family connections, and spiritual is about our core values and beliefs. Now, what's really interesting about this is that none of these dimensions stand alone. They're all deeply connected, almost like pieces of a giant puzzle. And that connection is exactly what we're going to focus on next.
Section 2. Understanding holistic wellness, the I do phase.
All right, put on those listening ears and get ready to absorb some seriously powerful knowledge about taking care of yourselves. Holistic health basically means considering physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being to seek balance and harmony in all areas of life. It's not just about running the fastest or getting a perfect grade. It's about building everyday habits like getting enough sleep, eating balanced meals, and solving problems calmly that keep all 5 of your dimensions super strong. When we focus on holistic wellness, we actually help prevent illness, we cope a whole lot better with stress and anxiety, and we find real meaning and purpose in our everyday lives.
But what happens when one of those dimensions shifts? Since you're in adolescence, your body is changing incredibly fast. Imagine you go through a sudden physical growth spurt, which is driven by hormones. That's a purely physical change, right? But those same hormones might make you feel suddenly sensitive or a little grumpy. That is an emotional change, and this brilliantly illustrates how changes in one health dimension completely affect another. Like, if you aren't sleeping well physically, your mental focus absolutely tanks, and you might have a hard time being social with your friends. Literally everything is connected.
Section 3. Practicing wellness together, the we do phase.
So now that we understand that these dimensions are all linked, it's time to talk about how we actually put this into action collaboratively. In a typical classroom setting, this is where we do our Common Tips group activity. Working in groups, you'd come up with totally practical ways to achieve this holistic wellness we were just talking about. And the really fun part? You get to present it creatively. You could sing a song about getting enough sleep, write a cool poem about drinking water, draw a colorful poster showing healthy friendships, or maybe even perform a short skit about communicating respectfully. By working together to do this, you're actually practicing your social wellness right then and there. It's true, teamwork builds healthy relationships.
Section 4. Your turn to practice the you do phase.
Okay, you've heard me explain it, and we've talked about how to work on it together. Now it is time for a quick, rapid-fire formative quiz. Let's see how well you can independently spot the habits that build up holistic wellness. Here's your first scenario. Which habit best supports physical wellness? Is it A, skipping meals, B, regular exercise, C, staying awake all night, or D, avoiding water? Shout out the correct letter right now.
If you yelled out B, regular exercise, you are absolutely right. Awesome job. Moving our bodies, playing sports, staying active, these are absolutely crucial for physical health. Things like skipping meals, staying up all night, and avoiding water would actually do a lot of harm to our physical wellness. So keep that body moving. Let's try another one.
Joining clubs or groups mostly supports which dimension? Is it A, physical, B, social, C, spiritual, or D, financial? Think about what you actually do in a club. You meet people, you talk, you share your interests, so which piece of the wellness puzzle does that fit into?
Yep, it's B again. Social wellness, fantastic work. So the crucial point is that holistic wellness isn't just about you sitting alone in your room. It's about how you connect with the world around you. Building healthy friendships, joining groups, and communicating respectfully shows that you care for both yourself and others. It builds those social muscles.
Section 5. Reflection. Looking inward.
You all did incredible work on that quiz. Now, let's take a collective deep breath and just slow our pacing down a little bit. Learning facts is great, for sure, but applying them to our own lives, that's where true wisdom happens. So can you think of a time when you realized just how important one's health is? Maybe there was a time you got really sick and couldn't play with your friends, which just made you feel really down and sad. That perfectly shows how physical health impacts emotional and social health. Or maybe you had a time when you were super stressed out about a test and you just couldn't sleep. I want you to really think about that real-life experience for a second. Reflecting on our own experiences and values is a huge part of our spiritual wellness, and it guides the daily choices we make for our health.
Section 6. Your next wellness steps. Ways forward. Let's move to and see how this builds as we transition from reflection into concrete, actionable steps.
Because hey, the learning doesn't stop just because this explainer is wrapping up. We need actual ways forward to take control of our total well-being. So here are some extended learning opportunities you can do right at home to take charge of your health. Step 1. Try keeping a simple one-week wellness checklist. Just track your sleep, your meals, and how much water you drink. Step 2. Talk to a trusted family member. Ask them what healthy habit helped them the most when they were an adolescent, going through the exact same changes you are. And Step 3. Create your very own personal holistic wellness plan. Pick 3 brand new habits, maybe journaling for emotional health or spending time in nature for spiritual health, and try practicing them this week.
And that leaves us with one final big question for you to ponder. How will you balance your 5 dimensions today to become the healthiest, happiest version of yourself? Remember, holistic wellness is a daily journey of finding harmony between your body, mind, emotions, relationships, and spirit. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today. You've got all the tools you need. Now go out there and build those healthy habits.